Oprah Winfrey. Oprah Winfrey, owner and founder of The Oprah Winfrey Show. Oprah is 69 years old and was born in Kosciuszko, Mississippi, to an unmarried teen couple, Venita Lee and Vernon Winfrey. She grew up with her grandma on a farm with no indoor plumbing. Her grandma wanted her to be able to read and write, so she would read the Bible and was able to recite it in church by the age of 3. At 6 years old, Oprah moved to live with her mum in Milwaukee. This was not an improvement in any way. Oprah was the victim of physical abuse and sexual molestation. At 14 years old, Oprah was sent to live with her father in Nashville. Oprah's father believed in a very strict upbringing. During the time living with her father, Oprah showed signs of being a talented performer and won lots of beauty contests, including being crowned Miss Black Tennessee and went on to compete in Miss Black America, along with many academic awards. Winfrey was the first Black American to own her own production company. Oprah was nominated Academy Award in her first ever movie, The Color Purple. At one point, Winfrey was the world's highest paid entertainer as the successful host of The Oprah Winfrey Show, a production that reached up to 15 million people per day. The show was aired for 25 whole seasons. Oprah Winfrey has won 18 Daytime Emmy Awards and 2 Primetime Emmy Awards. Winfrey is the first Black American female billionaire in the world. America has a long and troubled history with discrimination of minority groups. This racial discrimination has occurred since colonization of America, and especially as a result of the slave trade when African slaves were brought to America. Although things may appear to have improved, there is still racial discrimination every day. An example of this is the murder of Black American George Floyd. In May 2020, George Floyd was sitting in a car with 2 other people. Police officers forcibly removed him from the car and handcuffed him. Floyd was then murdered by Derek Chauvin, with the official cause of the death being asphyxiation. This is an example of the over-policing and discrimination towards Black Americans. In a survey from 1958, 44% of white people said they would move house if a Black person moved next door. More recent surveys shows that this is now 1% of people that would move if this happened. It's clear things have improved, but they are still far from equal. South Africa suffers dramatically with poverty. The World Bank determined that South Africa is the most unequal country in the world, and the sad reality is that the majority of the population is directly affected by poverty. Children that grow up in poverty are likely to remain trapped in a poverty cycle without access to good education. Without quality education, South African children are less likely to gain highly paid work. Children sometimes do not attend school because they are trying to keep their families alive, supporting them by working from a very young age. If parents can give their children the opportunities to go to school, they will most likely value their son's education more than the daughter's, often choosing to educate their sons first. Throughout Africa, there are more than 10 countries with 30% or more girls that don't attend school, compared to 6 countries with 30% or more boys that cannot go to school. This shows that girls in Africa are less likely to be educated than boys. In response to these societal issues, Oprah Winfrey funded a $40 million school for disadvantaged girls in South Africa. More than 750 girls have graduated and successfully passed the South African matric level examination. To this day, Oprah has invested $140 million to the school, and the girls attend the school tuition free. Oprah established the private charity the Oprah Winfrey Foundation in 1987. This foundation campaigns for women and children and has donated $400 million, has educated 72,000 people, and has served 75 million meals. Oprah has donated millions of dollars around the world to education for underprivileged but very smart and honourable children. Oprah is an open speaker about child abuse and campaigns to catch child abusers, and was a crucial force in the drafting, lobbying, and passage of the National Child Protection Act in America. The act was signed into law by President Clinton in 1994. Oprah is an active philanthropist providing remarkable assistance to multiple schools in America, as well as Oprah Winfrey Leadership Academy for Girls in South Africa. Oprah started at the very bottom but made it to the top. According to the people who knew Oprah as a child, she was always a bright, kind, and positive kid. She inspires people all around the world with her inspirational words. Oprah is an icon to America and has done so much for American people. Oprah has made a huge impact in the world in so many ways. Some of the really noticeable impacts Oprah has made is that the rates of girls going to school in South Africa has risen, which has given more people a good education and job opportunities. Without a doubt, Oprah has been one of the most influential female advocates in the world, especially for Black Americans. Oprah Winfrey is an inspiration to America because she had such a tough childhood, but that didn't stop her from achieving her goals. She is an example of the American dream.